Hello and welcome back everyone to the channel. We are back on the Italian Wonder Bread Let's Play series, and today we're on day 33. So as you can see, actually I'm just gonna show you guys day 32 stats because I didn't actually record yesterday. As you can see, I just showed this because of the armies. I still have the strongest army, followed by our fellow coalition mate. Oh gosh, darn it. Followed by our fellow coalition mate, South Africa. In third place, you have our enemy, Venezuela, then our coalition made Libya, then Peru, then Spain, then Japan, who's AI, and then Ukraine. And then the other player in the coalition, Maranhão, was all the way down 15th with less than, well, with almost actually 1/4 of the army I have, and BC with 4%. So yeah, pretty cool. Anyways, so let's talk about now on day 33. As you guys should have seen for the last episode, Spain overtook us in victory points, and now we've overtook them again, mainly because we actually have taken land in Sweden. So that's around 100 points. And Spain, if you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get into that, have, we basically, the war with South America has officially begun, and Spain's been getting kicked out of North America. So yeah. So let's first I'm gonna go over this whole Sweden thing because the South America thing is gonna be a really interesting topic of this video, and I think I'm gonna talk the most about. So I just want to get the other stuff done first. As you can see from the last episode, I was able to push a lot. I basically taken all Finland, all Sweden, also the important southern parts, just these two cities and here. A few provinces left, but taking most of both countries. They don't look like they have that many big stacks anywhere. They did have I did have a stack going here, and I just kind of went offline and got killed because as you can see, Sweden has a lot of units here. But then I had like about 7 bombers patrol over it. As you can see, there's my bombers here. Is that 22? Oh, okay. Um, and obviously, when if you have tactical bombers patrolling over hostile units, they will do damage. So yes, I realize there's an anti-air here, but with 7 bombers on only one anti-air, yeah, it's not gonna do too much damage, and it's worth all the units you've killed. As you see, every unit here is very low on HP. All of them are very low, and there's already been a ton of them have already died. So our tactical bonus have done a great job on just hurting them, and these guys should all be dead by they should all be dead very soon. So Helsinki got captured by them, but we were able to bomb their units. I wasn't too online. I was kind of offline for some time. So that's why they kind of have some flanking maneuvers going on, but not too much of a problem. We have this last stack kind of moving through all this territory, and it's gonna capture a lot of land. And yeah, I don't really care. I just want to get this land captured as quick as possible. So yeah. So let's go here. All right. So we're gonna have Sweden done with, and that's a lot of territory. Obviously, they have a lot of ICs. They have every resource producing province, just like Romania did. They have just most of the resource producing provinces have like a broken level 2 or level 3 um what do you call it infrastructure in each province. Lots of these also have ICs. Like you have IC, like we need are the 3 resources we need the most: food, oil, and rare. You have you have a IC and infrastructure and a food here. This is a rare with an IC. This is the oil with the IC. And obviously, like, infrastructure increases food resource production, but industrial context along with that makes it much more. So having both is amazing. So yeah, oil with one, rare food, another oil, another rare. So yeah, Sweden's done us a lot of good. But yeah, we're gonna get a lot of stuff from them. And this, they did kind of have a landing in Denmark because I didn't have many units there, but it's not too much of a problem. We'll be kicking them out very very soon. So now let's actually get into the juicy part of this video. Yeah, the war on Maranhão. So as you can see, we got a reveal all on Maranhão, and as you should also be able to see, they have a crap ton of they have a ton of subs, but they're also level 1 subs compared to my maxed out submarines, which for say I don't know what this is like a flotilla with battleships, cruisers, carriers, and it shows that as a submarine flotilla. Makes no sense, but oh well. Stats here: 6 and 7, and 2.5 and 3.1. Here 2 and 1.71, and like it's the difference is so huge. This battleship is probably a bit vulnerable, actually. Kind of is a bit vulnerable, but it's okay. But yeah, point is, we've done that. As you can see, we got to reveal all, and they have a lot of submarines, which Spain also has max level subs, so they will also die to that. And this whole stack has, yeah, these two don't, most of these units aren't that good, but 8 submarines easily can protect the battleships and the cruisers. You have a bit of a fight going on here, but it's a one-on-one, and obviously with the higher tech, I'm gonna win. The only way for their submarines to beat me is if it's like a 2v1. So I also got to reveal all in Peru. But we're not gonna talk about that. Okay, we'll talk about Spain's kind of invasion or retreat from North America. But let's first get over Maranhão, because I'm only right now at war with Maranhão. I'm not technically at war with Venezuela or Peru right now. And my objective is to get rid of, because as you can see, they're trying to make a lot of landings in our African territories. So the objective is to get our navy and completely slap them. We want to kill whatever ships they have and gain complete naval control of the sea, and make sure that there's no way they're able to get ships across from South America to Europe or Africa. And if they try it, they'll get sunk, and we can do whatever we want. That's gonna be the whole plan. So let's look at their. So obviously a lot of stuff here, but let's. Then these convoys are getting kind of close. But let's ignore the convoys for now. Let's talk about the navy. So our main group of ships that's actually gonna be fighting on the Atlantic front, because I do have a decent amount of ships on the in the Indian Ocean, but I don't want to bring them back. Let's start with this. So this submarine's gonna die. This one's also obviously gonna die. I mean, it's running into this. Probably die in the first shot. Then you have another, like, about 4 submarines. This battleship's a bit vulnerable, so I'm gonna hope this thing, because I'm gonna try to get this into the stack, but if a submarine intercepts us on the way, I'm gonna have a problem. But judging by these spy reports, considering this was only an hour ago, I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, as I was saying, they have about 4 subs here. I think this one's gonna die, because we're gonna run through that. These 2 are eventually gonna die to this, so I'm not too worried about the submarines. Actually, I'm gonna chase. I am going to go attack that, because you know what? I might forget about the submarines and get killed by them eventually, or sometime. So obviously we don't want that happening. We want to get rid of the threat immediately. Now let's go over here in this kind of crossing between the main crossing kind of channel, you would say, between Africa and South America. Now let's look at their navy. Let's look at all their navy that they have here. Oh, these are 3 of my ships. Oh yeah, these 3 ships were meant to go do some raids, and they're gonna be doing a lot of damage. So let's talk about what navy they have. And it's not much. If we add all this together, which is their navy here, you can see they have 5 level 1 destroyers, which would get annihilated by my submarines. That's what I'm assuming they would. Because, would they? Okay, they're attacking and defending against submarines is 4.5 and 2.3. Compared to my submarines, which is 6 and 7.5, which is far better. In terms of, like, I guess the other thing would be hit points. Submarines, as you can see, have 25 hit points, while destroyers, I don't even think the level matters in terms of hit points, they have 30 hit points, so 5 hit points more, but considering the damage difference, we would easily beat their destroyers. So yeah, 5 destroyers, and I think it was one half damaged level 1 battleship, which is very weak, and 2 level 1 carriers. And here's the thing, these carriers are not protected by anything. So in order for carriers to function, you need to have them protected by destroyers or submarines, because carriers and battleships and cruisers, for that matter, all will get annihilated by submarines. And that's the thing about submarines that I love. So when you have these types of big ships, because battleships and carriers cost a lot of money to make, in terms of the level 3 naval bases and the maintenance costs, and to actually produce a unit. So you don't want to lose them, and you cannot have them roaming this without a submarine, because that's just gonna get you annihilated. They can get annihilated. So their attacking and subs is 0.5, well, their defending is 5, which is good, and they have 75 HP, which is obviously good. But that's good. I'm saying it isn't. These 3 submarines have 61. That's less. But with the combined attack value of 18 coming up in 0.5, ooh, that's not going to be good for those carriers. These two carriers, I'm going to pick them off one by one and they will get annihilated. Oh, they have one sub here, but it's also level 1, so who cares? A few destroyers here, but I doubt they'll drag them back. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to pull up with these submarines. We're going to ignore the destroyers for now, because the destroyers aren't a big threat. What we do want to do is attack these battleships. I don't want to go through the destroyers. I don't want to take too much damage. Where is it? All right. Yeah, we'll go this way and we'll attack that aircraft carrier, and we will hopefully annihilate it and the two ships above it, which will be amazing. Now, you can see here they're also trying to make a lot of amphibious landings, which unfortunately we were not able to. I just got the spy report today, and if I could have, I would have sent ships down here earlier. But obviously, I had to bring them up from Sweden too, and yeah, I haven't been able to really get them. So I think they will get the landing, but assuming these units are all gonna go into Mankono, they're gonna get annihilated by South Africa stack here. So no problem. It looks like pretty much every unit they have is gonna get driven right into South America, which kind of shows you how that they're not a good, they're a weak player. Because for an experienced player, you would not just bomb rush a bunch of units into Africa or into a different continent. You would at least maybe gather them up and pack them up with the destroyers or cruisers or submarines, so they don't just get annihilated. This is this is kind of showing that they're not exactly the most experienced players. As soon as we can get naval control, as soon as we can knock out every single ship they have, every single one of these convoys that tries passing sea will get instantly killed, which is amazing. That's gonna be a lot of their units dead without us taking many casualties. Now let's look at their unit composition. They do have a few max rockets, which is good. Look at this. They have commandos, strong, light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, SP artillery, I believe that is. Even this, what you can tell from this is that they have a crap ton of armored units, a lot of armor. This stack is almost all armor, apart from that infantry, anti-tank, and I think is that motorized or mechanized? Mechanized. I think mechanized. Yeah, mechanized is the armor class. So their whole army, their whole land army, is pretty much almost fully armor based. Meaning, if we can get anti-tanks, if we can back up every unit, all of our big stacks with a crap ton of anti-tanks, any attacks from their armored units will be so much more weaker, because the anti-tanks will just counter them and destroy them. That's what I like about anti-tanks. It's a cheap solution in countering tanks. You look at their tech, it's not that good. Their tech is pretty weak. Level 2 light tanks, level 2 infantry. Like, our units are so much more leveled up, and we can annihilate them on that front too. So the plan is, as I mentioned, to get naval control of this channel. And then after, obviously I need to get done with Sweden first, but then after that, I will bring, or our whole coalition will, at least, I don't know about them necessarily yet, but at least this is my plan for now. I will bring my units into the African area and use this kind of open channel to come and then invade and land in Marat House core and remember, as I said, use a crap ton of anti-tank and hopefully land and win. Now, you can see Peru, as you also saw another day, they have a lot of planes. So the thing is, we need to have every single carrier in our navy right on the coast when we try landing, because if we don't, then not even just Peru, but their whole coalition can bring in planes and bomb our units while we're trying to land, and that will be a disaster for us. So we need to have aircraft carriers with interceptors right there, and I need to be very active during that time. So I can't be sleeping during when this happens. I need to be there and have my interceptors knock out every single tactical bomber I see, and have my tactical bombers bomb any units on the coast that don't have anti-air. And you look at all of these stacks. There's no anti-air. Oh, there's one level 1 anti-air. There's barely any anti-air. Wait, what? Oh, this is Peru's units. Yeah, the Peru has anti-air, but Maranhão doesn't. So I mean, they're not that experienced. They're not that good of a player. So that's the plan for the invasion. Get naval control of the channel. Stack units with anti-tank. Bring planes on the coast through via aircraft carriers, and make a landing on their coast and push through their core. And yeah. Peru also, as you can see, they are trying to get troops into North America. Let's zoom in on this. Let's talk about North America now. You can see Peru has a lot of units. Peru is actually it's competent. Venezuela too. They also have good sets. But they've basically taken over Cuba, and they're going to be taking that over. They're going to be taking over all of North America too. So Peru has pushed through South USA kind of territory. And while you have BC pushing through Manitoba up here, North USA, Kansas, into Illinois. So yeah, all of this land that Spain worked for is gonna be he's retreating all of this because there's no way he can't defend. BC and Peru will be capturing all of this, and there's no way to defend that. Now I could have defended this. I mean, I could have helped him out. Yeah, I could have maybe. But to be fair, considering they would have units over here, and if I tried sending units all the way across the coast, I would not be able. Like we would probably get kicked out anyways because it would be hard to send planes over to. We'd probably get kicked out, and I think the first moment that we really realized that the attack was very close was about maybe 2 to 3 days ago, and by then I'd already started attacking Sweden, so I had to finish them. And I checked the closest units I had and I had most of my land army up in Sweden. The closest units I had would take around 4 days to get into North America, and then I realized, okay, it's gonna take 4 days. There's no point in sending over. They're not gonna get there in time. But yeah, our plan is to retreat out of here, so we need to knock out their navy. I want to gain control of the whole Atlantic Ocean, knock out their navy, and then eventually, yeah, I will try to make a landing in Maranhão, and the objective it will be to take off South America. Forget about North America. We're gonna push from Maranhão, take Maranhão's core, knock them out of the war, and try to push on a Peru and Venezuela's cores and knock them out of the war. Hopefully, they'll have units in North America and they'll have the South cores open. We'll have to see. We'll also need naval control in case they try invading us through North America into Europe, and that will be, if they get through into Europe, that will not be good for us. But we'll have to find a way to defend that. Also, I don't think you guys can see this, but Venezuela actually had nuclear battleships. So that's alarming. They have gotten nuclear attack before we have, but we are also not too far away on that to getting nuclear ships. We are nuclear power level 4. One more nuclear power, and we can start researching these types of ships. We can also get nuclear bombers out if we want to. I mean, I get nuclear bombers aren't exactly the most efficient or best units to be using nuclear. They're not that efficient in the rares a lot. But to be fair, I'm trying to have some fun. You know, nuclear, there's just some kind of feeling you get out of making nuclear weapons that's just so fun to just nuke things. It's just amazing. And I don't really get too many games where I can actually make nukes viable. So, yeah. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. Yeah, a bit of a longer episode. I had a lot of things to talk about today because, you know, it was the start of a massive war that will decide who wins this game. So, yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's episode, though, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. And, well, if you want to stay tuned for the future episodes, then make sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified. And peace out. Stay safe.